Hello, nerds and nerdettes. I'm back with part 2. Next up is Super Smash Bros. Melee. I, I've probably put at least 300 or 500 hours into this. I played this game years ago. I still do today. It's a great game. It still absorbs just about as much hours as Brawl. And it's one of GameCube's best. One of the classics and one game that has built memories and always will. I've got a little bit of hiccups. Left 4 Dead 2. I do love zombie games, and I find it enjoyable that Valve, one of my favorite companies behind some of my favorite games, such as Half-Life and Portal and stuff like that, they were able to come up with a zombie apocalypse style game. Works very well, and I can't wait until they bring out one of their next games, no matter what the series is. This is Mortal Kombat versus DC. Not a bad game, but not the best. It's not the gore that makes the game good, but it's one of its charms. That's not the real reason, though. It just didn't seem right that they dumbed it down a bit too much. A better one, I think, would have been Tekken, if they were to do a crossover. Sorry, I got a little bit of hiccups. Anyway, Starfox Assault. Probably one of my favorite games, and a little underrated. I kind of like the idea that, you'd be able to... Sorry about that. You'd be able to have, be in a tank, an R-Wing, and on foot. And I enjoyed playing the multiplayer where you got to shoot your opponents have the split screen. Good story. Pretty good game. I really actually enjoyed it. And it was actually a very fun game. Very impressive. And I think this game alone could use a sequel. But Star Fox, unfortunately, is quite a dead kind of series. Next set. This will take a moment. I'm going by stacks to make things a bit easier. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. What could I tell you? It's Smash Bros. No Nintendo player or fan, no matter what the case is, probably can't have a system or a Nintendo system without playing Smash Brothers. Excellent game. Subspace Emissary is interesting, but it's pretty long. But I like the idea that they added in third-party characters. Not saying it's the best aspect, but I love the new items, new characters. It's a great game for when you have guests or a party. And I love tournaments with this game. Soulcalibur V, not as good as 4, a bit of a letdown, but it was a pretty good game for what it offered. I kind of didn't like how they took away a lot of characters or replaced them with dumb characters or changed characters, but I did like some aspects of the customization. They kind of didn't give you much clothing to work with, but it's still a fun game, and I have made some pretty cool characters on it, which I will show later. Again, I just have it for combat training, or at least the first one. Zombies and local playing. Alright game. Again, Call of Duty is by far nothing special. Kinect Adventures came with my Kinect. I kind of really don't play Kinect anymore, because I don't care how lazy this sounds, but I just want to sit on my ass whenever I play a game. But it is fun. I do like the mini games you have on it. I'm not obese, by the way, if anybody's going to make any rude comment. Naughty Bear. I love the idea that you basically take something colorful, happy, all cheerful. Then you add in a spice of murder, weapons, and dead teddy bears in this case. A very fun game, a little messed up, but it's like almost an N64 game. meets like Slasher or Friday the 13th. It kind of reminded me a lot of Conker's Bad Fur Day, which was one of my favorite games on the N64. Definitely pick it up if you want to unleash your inner psychopath, so to say. Mario Party 5, probably the last good Mario Party. The other ones are decent, but this was the last good one. I liked the variety of the modes, and I like they had a good set of mini games for this one. This was one of my favorites I had on the GameCube. The Lego Batman and Pure disc set came with my 360 for free. Lego Batman, surprisingly, the Lego games are actually very fun. I don't know why. Pure, good game, good potential, good concept, absolutely garbage control. That's all I have to say. Kirby Air Ride. I do like racing games, and I do enjoy I'm quite a Nintendo fan. I grew up with an N64. Kind of hard to control, but I gotta just get used to it more. Borderlands. I have yet to finish the first Borderlands, but I do like the quest system, how you can roam around, leveling up. And I am a weapon maniac when it comes to games. I enjoy the fact that you could get like electric stuff and like pistols that could snipe. I love the idea that there's tons of guns. Pretty much. I'm a gun maniac. Next set, this will just take a moment. Final Fantasy XIII 2. I am not a big fan of RPGs, but this game is quite interesting. I am somewhat into it. I'm just going to have to get more used to it and dedicate more time in order to get into it a bit more. But my brothers used to play it all the time. I got curious, and it seems interesting. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. As you already know from the first part, I am quite a fan of the Metroid series. And this isn't before I got Trilogy. I'm probably just going to go through this again on the Trilogy version. But still, even though I'm really close to beating it, I might as well, because I'm really stuck. Because I bought this one. I didn't really know how Metroid worked. Still, you can't go wrong with a badass, lone wolf type of hunter with a kick-ass story behind it. Very, very fun game, and if you can't get Trilogy, this is your best bet and get the other two games off eBay. Little Big Planet 2. Absolutely one of my favorites. This was one of my favorite games. I haven't really gotten far into the story, but it's not because I'm lazy with my games. It's just I love exploring other people's levels and building my own. I may not be that good at building my own, but it's absolutely wonderful. I really think that the guys that made this game really hit the jackpot when coming up with it, and I still enjoy it to this day. Halo Combat Evolved. Now, this Halo I actually really enjoyed. I never got to play the actual original Halo, so I figured this was my opportunity. Very fun. This is actually a really good Halo game, and I rarely say that about Call of Duty or Halo, because they're the main overrated series of this generation. But they did a really good job remastering the original. I never played the original, and I think it was very well done, and Bungie did a smart move giving it the 343 because they didn't screw it up. At least in my opinion. As you already know, I own all three of the Burger King games. Wii Sports Resort. Good sequel to Wii Sports. I really enjoyed how you were able to, play a lot more mini games on it, and they had like sword fighting. They had the arrow shooting, upgraded bowling, flying around, jet ski. I really actually loved all those things, and it really made this game probably one of Nintendo's best sellers on the Wii. I really love the idea of all the micro games or mini games they're able to come up with. Very enjoyable. Halo Reach. Very enjoyable game. I really loved the idea that it kind of gives you a backstory. Not the best, but I've had some pretty damn good moments online with this, and decent campaign, and I've always had fun with friends on Halo, but it's not the best game in the world. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I really enjoy retakes, I guess you could say, on classic games. And Mario Bros. Wii is no exception. I love the multiplayer aspect, and I love the idea, or the, multi-screen multiplayer, and I love the idea that it just brings back classics and lets you enjoy them with new twists. I just love that thing with Nintendo. They take classics and make them into fun and modernize. They're not perfect, but that's one thing they do right. Dead Rising. I may hate Capcom, but this is one game I'm willing to make an exception about. I just love, now granted the DLC on this game was bullcrap, but I got one thing free, bought it at Best Buy. This is probably, sorry with these stupid hiccups, anyway, this is probably one of my favorites because it has, what could you go wrong with? Funny weapons, great story, cool psychos, badass combo weapons, and generally just the wackiness and the humor of using weapons, combining certain weapons, and interacting with the environment. It was overall one of Capcom's best, and I can't wait till Dead Rising 3, which has been confirmed. Absolutely one of my favorites. Two more sets to go. And then it's off to my Wii box that I have a bunch of Wii games stored, and then my downloadable titles. I just might as well get this out of the way now. I'm letting my one friend borrow Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. Very fun game. I love the idea that they've been able to improve the gameplay a bit and the graphics. Great classic remastered. And he's also borrowing Bully. Very fun game, the Scholarship Edition. Very fun. Rockstar always makes great games and has one of the best senses of humor around. But anyway, Midway Arcade Origins. I love Midway games because they made some of my favorite games back in the day on my N64 and classic games like arcade games. When I found out this was coming around, I knew I had to pick it up. For only $30 with 31 games, it's a buck-and arcade game, and it has some great classics for you to relive, along with some pretty easy achievements for those that are into that. I just love the idea of playing old classics without putting in tons of quarters. Overall, great collection of games. Alright, well, I will see you guys later for part 3. Take it easy.